Hey everybody, it's Candy, aka Brown Eyed Girl 69. How y'all doing? Well, I don't look that great. I just got up about 30 to 45 minutes ago. Well, I woke up about 11:30, but I probably didn't crawl out of bed until about 11:45. And now it's 12:18, and today is day 56 of year one. Not much for me to say other than the fact that I've been working since Saturday. So I worked Saturday by myself with the manager because somebody called in. And then Sunday, it was me that there was one other girl with us, but she left at 7. So the last 3 hours, it was just me and my manager. That was on Sunday. Last night, it was me, manager, and one other girl. Tonight, it's supposed to be me and Paige. Paige was who worked with me last night. Tonight's supposed to be me, Paige, and our closing manager is going to be Ann. She usually only closes one night a week, and I usually don't work with her. I haven't worked with her in quite some time, actually, simply because I'm usually always working nights, and usually the night that she closes, I'm off. But I have to work today and tomorrow, and then I'll have 3 days off. And I'm tired. I'm tired physically. I'm tired mentally. Spiritually, am I tired? Yeah, probably. I'm tired of seeing all the BS on the boob tubes and the face crackling. I'm tired of all these people screaming and hollering about the end of the world. I'm tired of seeing all these people freak out. Why? Because their identity is within this world. See, my identity isn't within this world. I don't belong in this world. The reason why I came here, I have no idea. But it wasn't to comply, and it wasn't to bow down, and it wasn't to bootlick. I know that for a fact. You know. And then you got, people out there that are religious folks that believe this is the end times. Or you got people out there that's not necessarily religious, but they do believe that somehow, some way, this is all related to the Bible, somehow, some way. End times. Again, even though they might not be religious, but they try to allegorize it and compare it to other things or things that are happening. They might not necessarily believe that it's God or whatever, but they do believe that something's happening. Now, me personally, I believe everything takes place upstairs in between this space right here. And that's where everything takes place for you. Starts all right here. It happens right between your two ears. Everything starts there for you. Not for me. Not for anybody else. For you. Just like for me, everything happens in here. In between my two ears. My brain. My mind. Everything starts in the mind with a thought. And then if that thought is concentrated on enough, then that thought will manifest into reality. And that's how it works. There is no God. There is no God running the show. We are running the show with our thoughts, our beliefs, our engagement. with it. And that's why I've chosen to disengage. Because it's too crazy out there for me. It's too. Why should I care? If it's not affecting my life, why should I care about it? Seriously, that's the way everybody should be, I think. If it's not affecting your day to day life, should it be something that you even concern yourself with? Um, just like I could care less what Hollywood actor or actresses uh, popular today. I could care less which singer in the music industry is popular today. I could care less. I don't care. And people say, oh, well, that's so. No. Why should I care about things that don't benefit me? If it doesn't benefit me, what's the purpose of it? It's called entertainment. That's the purpose. And it's to basically like government. Govern means to control, right? Ment is your mind. So government is controlling your mind. That's what government means. To control your mind. Entertainment. Ment, that's the mind. So what's enter and tame mean? Well, enter the mind. Tame. That's kind of sounds like taint. Like something's tainted. So they enter the taintness into your mind. That's what entertainment is. It's tainting your mind. Sports, it's all rigged. It's all predetermined. It's not let's get out there and the best man win. No. It's all scripted. It's all pre-planned. And it's all pre-designed. Who and what for? That's the questions you should ask yourself. For who and what for are these things that we see on the outside of us? Who and what for are these things benefiting? Who are they benefiting? What's the purpose of these things happening? And who are they benefiting in the end? Are they benefiting you? Are they benefiting me? I would say no. That's why I don't pay attention to it. That's why it kind of, for me, I don't fit in this world. Why? Because I don't participate in the things that others participate in this world. Like, I could care less about sports. I could care less about music, movies. Don't get me wrong. I like movies and music, but more than likely, if you was to ask me, if you was to give me two movie choices, and one movie was a brand new movie and one movie was a movie from my childhood, I'm going to pick the childhood movie over the new movie. Why? Because it's familiar. And because I already know how it's going to go. Music, I don't really care for today's music. If I do listen to music, when I'm in my car, I have it on KOMA, and they just play oldies. They usually play a lot of 80s. Sometimes they'll play 70s, 80s, but it's mainly 70s and 80s. Is what that is. And that's my childhood teen years, Most of all the videos that I have saved in my music playlist are music that I listened to and that I liked when I was in those age ranges, There's a lot more music out there that I could probably add. But there's some music that I haven't heard in a while that I'd have to really stop and think, uh, if I have it in my playlist or not. Um, but yeah, I'm old school. I'm old school. I'm definitely not about evolving with this technology. Because I'm going to tell you right now, even though I'm using technology to get this message to others, I can't stand it. I can't stand technology. If technology was to disappear tomorrow, it wouldn't bother me at all. The reason why I say that is because way back when, the only people that you could converse with or talk to was people that lived in your neighborhood, community, or if you had a telephone, give them a call every now and then. Back in the day, it was long distance to call somebody outside of your local area, outside of your uh, area code. If it was outside of your area code, you were paying long distance. And even before that, like I live in area code 405, right? Well, we moved to a town that was still in the 405 area code, but was like an hour away from here. Uh, and it was long distance to call from my small town of Purcell to Yukon or to Oklahoma City. Even when I was a kid, if I wanted to make a phone call into the radio station to request a song, it was a long distance call. I had to get my mom's permission to call the radio station because it was long distance. Now, when we moved to Yukon, Yukon was in the Oklahoma City area, so Yukon wasn't long distance to call Oklahoma City. But it was long distance to call Oklahoma City from Purcell back in the day at one point in time. And I think if you have a landline still and you call outside of your local area, you could still get charged long distance, I think. I'm not for sure how it works anymore nowadays, Ugh. My tattoo's healing pretty good, but it's still red. And it's weird because some days I look down at it and it's really not that red. And then there's other days I look down and it's redder than it was. And then I'll look down another time and it might not be red in that spot anymore, but red in another spot. It's just really strange. But I feel like it's healing all right. I think I should be good. It's just been a while since I had a tattoo, and I don't know. When I got that one on my leg with Winnie the Pooh, when I got tattooed with Kelsey, it's a lot bigger tattoo, takes up a lot more space. I think it was healed within a couple weeks. I just don't remember if it was like really red, around the edges. I'm sure it was. It was red around the edges, and I think it was red in a couple other spots. The most that it's red on this tattoo is where the dog is. It's because that's mainly where all the tattooing went the most, was like the coloring of the dog and the heart. That's where it's red the most. As far as the ghost is concerned, it's kind of red a little bit around the outline. But other than that, it's looks all right. Well, it hadn't even been a week yet. It's been what? Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Today's 4 days since I've had my tattoo, so yeah. That's another thing technology does to us is it makes us want things immediately. Just like a tattoo. A tattoo takes anywhere from 7 to 10 days to heal on average. If it's a little bit bigger, it might take up to 2 weeks, to heal. Um, I just want it to be healed and done with, I guess. I expect it just to be. But it still looks good. It's not like it's peeling or anything. Now, back in the day when I got these tattoos, I can remember back in the day when I got this tattoo, which was in 97, they didn't have that steridam stuff to put over the tattoo. They usually just covered it up with a big piece of gauze. But the gauze was slick on one side to where it wouldn't stick to the tattoo. I can remember the night that I got this tattoo. It was pretty late at night when we got it too. It was like 10 o'clock at night, I think. And Don, that was Kelsey's dad, um, he had a tattoo on his chest above his heart, and it was a name. And when I first met him, he had told me, I asked him, I was like, oh, who's named Kim? And he goes, oh, that's my mom. So I believed him. Then I realized that the name Kim was his ex-wife. So I looked at his ex-wife's name for 2.5 years. And then the night that I got this tattoo for my birthday, he also got his ex-wife's name covered up with a rose on his chest. So I wouldn't have to look at her name anymore. So it was pretty late at night. I think we were out of there by midnight, And we were staying with some friends of ours in Dallas because we lived in Southeast Oklahoma at that point in time. And we came back to their apartment and everything, and they'd given us a room to sleep in and our own shower. They had like a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment at the time. And I can remember getting in the shower and taking that off. And I remember this was just like all sorts of just plasma and ink running out, and getting in the shower. And it was just like, And there's one part of the tattoo when it was healing that the I guess they'd call it the scab was coming off, and it was almost off. And so I just kind of was able to peel it off, and when I did, it peeled out some of the ink on one of the leaves. But other than that, it healed up all right. As far as Winnie the Pooh's concerned, I can't even really remember it peeling that much. But I did put some petroleum jelly on it yesterday because it was so dry and it was really bothering me. So I put some Vaseline on it just a little bit, just to keep it moist a little bit, no big deal. I have 2 more nights of work. I have to work tonight, I have to work tomorrow night before I'm free from that place. Anyway, just giving you an update as to what's been going on with me. Just been working. And try not to pay too much attention to the crazy that's going on out there. I'm just trying to stay in my own lane, do my own thing, and not make too much of a ruckus. That's about it. Take life one day at a time, because that's all we're given anyway, right? I know there's just a lot of changes happening and taking place in this world, but all we can do is prepare for us. We can have empathy for someone else, but that doesn't mean that we have to get down there and grovel with them, Last night I was having a conversation with uh, a couple of people at work, and we were just talking about hypocritical people and negative people and how misery loves company, and that if you don't grovel with those people that are consistently complaining about life, consistently uh, moaning and groaning about what's wrong with their life. And then, like, I don't really like associating with those types of people because their energy rubs off on me. And then I feel like I have to cleanse myself, So it's just easier if I try to steer clear of people that are consistently complaining about life. Um, the one thing I will say, and that I told the people I was chatting with yesterday, is, and I've told other people in my life this too all the time. I try not to complain because once you complain, you're going to get more to complain about. If you're grateful, even for the little things, life's going to give you more things to be grateful for. It's just common sense. And the reason why I say that is because, like I said, it all starts up here. It all starts here between your two ears and then projects outwardly. Reality starts up here, and then based off your beliefs and how strongly you believe it will determine the events that take place that will or will not allow those things to happen. So you always have to be aware of the energy that you surround yourself with, I guess. You know? But yeah, I know people here in Purcell, and let's just put it that way. I know people here in Purcell, some of them all they do is complain about how bad their life is. Complain, complain, complain. They're not happy with anything in their life at all. They're not happy with the people they work with. They're not happy with their job. They're not happy with their life. They're not happy with their situation. It seems like they always have something to complain about. And then there's other people that don't complain, that are grateful, and that move through life with a little bit of meekness and mildness. And they're blessed beyond comparison. And they have more things given to them to be grateful for. You know what I mean? Um, Everything is all you. It all comes from within. Everything comes from within and works its way out. And everything that we see out here is projection of our own mind. And then some people say, oh, it's new age crap. Well, yeah, to a certain extent. Maybe not. Maybe that's scientific. They have proven many things about the brain before. And there's so much about the brain that we don't know. But I know one thing, it all begins in the brain and ends in the brain. And that's about it. I've been rambling today. Just going on. I guess I haven't made a video in a while, so that's why I'm on here making this video. Anyway, peace, love, hugs, nugs. I've got to be at work in about 3.5 hours. And the next time I'll be back will probably be Thursday. That'll be my day off. So I'll probably try to make a video on Thursday. Until the next time, peace, love, hugs, and hugs. I'm out.